Hello and welcome to Author to Author. I am your host Jasveer, and today I have author Yasser Suleiman with me. He's the author of 6 books. He's written on different subjects ranging from philosophy to horror to romance and action. His latest book, The Fire Again, is available on Amazon and Amazon Kindle in paperback and ebook format. Yasser is going to talk about how he uses real life incidents and situations in his stories, and he has some handy suggestions for young and aspiring authors. Yasser, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Jaswir. I am very much honored to be in your podcast today. Thank you for giving the introduction. Like you were saying, I have written on various genres or various subjects. I started with romance. I started very young, and my perhaps should be in my school age. When I was in high school, I started romance. I published it, and I started going more with it when I was in college. So from romance, wrote a collection of short stories that are based on philosophy. Then I thought I'll try my hand in horror, and finally, like what every guy loves in books or movies, I came to action thrillers. So that's about my fiction writing. Though I write a lot of non-fiction as well, blogs and poetry. I have even published a book on poetry actually. That's one of my 6 books. Other than that, I write mostly non-fiction.
Wow, wonderful. So you
Hello.
started writing quite early, right?
That's it. That's right. Actually, at the age of 8, it was a birthday poem for my mother. My dad used to write a lot of poetry in his college days, you know. So
Oh,
I
wow.
started reading at a very young age.
Right.
I don't know how many people will believe me, but I read Shakespeare when I was in fourth grade. I guess I was the same, at the age of 7, 8, something like that. I
Wow.
read Romeo and Juliet at that age.
I I
My
had
starting was like that.
wow. No, your starting was great because Shakespeare is
Yeah, please go on,
considered
please go
the
on.
yeah. Right. I could not even read
I
Shakespeare in my
understand. I
college
understand.
days. So that's amazing. That's really amazing that you read Shakespeare at such a young age. Wonderful, wonderful. Yasser, tell us something about your
Well,
life. What do you do other than writing?
so actually, just like how I write, be it poetry, be it novels, anything, my life is also kind of. I can't put it in a single sentence or single term. I do so many things in life together. Actually, all my books are reflections of something or other which happened in my own life, be it philosophy, romance, of course, and even action, whatever. That they all have been inspired from incidents in my own from my own life. So my style of living also goes like that. Actually, I just turned 37. This April, I just turned 37. I'm married and I have a kid, a 4-year-old kid of my own. Yet, perhaps my voice, I may speak differently, but the way I, how to say, look at life would be different. Again, I have been through a lot in life. I've seen. I won't claim that I'm too much experienced or too much wise or whatever. But I have faced different kind of situations in life. So depending on that, I other than writing books, I'm a writer in an IT company, writer and editor in an IT company. I also take care of their business development stage. I am also a freelance writer, a freelance social media promoter, and I take classes online for special sessions. It's not on any platform and all. I record videos and send to people, mostly on spoken English or even specifically on fighting depression. You can say how to combat depression, confidence building measures, how to speak, say easily or efficiently, pardon me, in front of a crowd, a group of people. Many people have this fear. I learn from my experiences, so I use that in my speech. So this is kind of a summary of what all I do. But I do
Wow.
so many other things, but these
Mhm.
are the main things.
Wonderful. So let's quickly talk about your books. Can you briefly describe your books? You've written 6 books. Uh,
Okay,
let's quickly talk about them.
okay, okay, right. That will be nice. Now, it's like for example, my first book, it's titled Three Stories of Love. It's available on Amazon, and for people in India can buy it even from Notion Press. their platform. Actually, Three Stories of Love is a collection of three love stories. The first one is written at three different times. Again, one which I had written back in my school has not yet been published. I hope to edit it and republish it some other time. Talking about the Three Stories of Love, I believe, like me, everyone would have had starts in their college life or their young life or even later on, their, how to say, their confrontation with romance or their meetings with romance. So I too have had, and believe me, this is how I started writing, and this is how I became an author. Just between the first story in that book, Three Stories of Love, is titled Just Between You and Me. This I had written on the streets of Bangalore when I had no money and I had no place to stay. I slept on the roads of Bangalore. I forgot the road's name. I guess the MG Road or something like. It was so long back. It was how long? 15 something years back. I wrote it on the roads of Bangalore. In a single night, I completed that story, just between you and me. It's just a romance. It's a romantic story of how two different people, two completely opposite sides of the coin. Say, could you imagine, say, perhaps our honorable Prime Minister Modi and Modi sir, and say, I don't know, someone from some Pakistani minister falling in love. It is that drastic, that contrasting. So my story spoke about how, despite any differences, you still will fall in love. The second story in the book is a little more, how to say, violent. It means obsession. I have been a fan of Shah Rukh Khan from childhood. I think it was '94. The film Dar came, and I loved it so much. The famous song "Jadoo Teri Nazar." I actually sang it to a girl and proposed to her. When I was how old I was at the time? 10. I was 10 at the time, and I proposed to a girl singing that song. I was so much obsessed with that film. That gave me the idea. Obsession. That feeling of love, obsession. When you can't actually call it love, right? You're too much obsessed over things that you will go to any extent. Yeah. Now, for example, I guess my lines on the book are something like,
yeah,
when everything has its own limits, even love, when it crosses its limits, it isn't love, it isn't affection, it is an obsession. So the story goes like that. And the third story in that book is a simple, straightforward story of how a young man falls in love with a girl. He writes poems, anything for her, but she's always silent. Later, he finds out that she's affected AIDS and she has been kind of thrown away from her home. Yet, how they both live together. A simple, sweet story. No drama, no kind of out of life moments in it. Very straight. That for when love is there, none of this matters. So that's about my first book. Please allow me to speak about the other books as well.
Yeah, no, pretty exciting. Pretty exciting subject of the book.
Second one, like I told you about philosophy.
Yep.
Thank you so much. So, like I told you, the second one about philosophy, it's actually a collection of short stories. The book also is titled like that. My version is like how you used to read in childhood, maybe, of every story, like I don't know, the Three Frogs or something, Beauty and the Beast or whatever, ending with a moral. So I write some real life incident, ending with a moral. So this is where I bring in philosophy. I have been fortunate enough to meet the former president of India, Abdul Kalam sir, on one of his visits to India. At that time, I was going through a very bad phase, and so I really wanted to meet him. And when I met him, I gifted him one of my poems. Like I told you, I write a lot of poetry as well. So he liked it a lot, and that inspired me. That meeting, that conversation, inspired me to write a story on it. So these are the kind of stories in my second book with a moral, all right? And it also includes something for children to enjoy. So I am not speaking much about what goes on in each of these stories. Please do read it. I would be very much humbled, very much glad if people buy the book and read it. So this is a different kind.
Mhm.
The next one, I have written a book on poetry as well. Pardon me if I didn't put it in my count. I have written plenty of poems. This book has around, I guess, 10, 15, something around of those poems on different subjects. Romance, birthdays, feelings for a mom, philosophy, on different things. I told you, my life is as colorful as an Indian flag. There is everything. There is unity in it. You have the saffron, you have the white, you have the green, and the Ashok Chakra in between. That's my life. That's how I write everything.
It should be colorful.
So the next horror, I wanted to thank you. Thank you so much. And we recently finished Holi. I hope all of you had a nice time on Holi. So coming back to my books, like I was telling, horror. I have read a lot of horror books and all. I have watched a lot of movies also. I please pardon me if I differ on this, but I want to write some book on horror where there is not a lot of screams. There isn't a lot of blood. There isn't monsters or those kind of stuff. Horror means what? The fear, the fear. This is what I want to bring in about that book, that specific book. So what is that? Pardon me, it's titled "Who Is There?" Actually, the title of the book is not connected to stories, right? But I just want to give that concept. Who is there? Uda kaun hai? Anga yaar iska? Pardon me if I get in Tamil also. So I want that feeling. I want to bring the book. A very simple story of how, again, a haunted home and a boy who goes there, he finds something strange. This is a very, a reclusive boy. He likes to spend time by himself. So he finds, he goes to a home. They are shifting to a new home. He spends a lot of time in that room. And he's also a writer, like me, perhaps. I told you, there is a bit of me in every book of mine. So someone starts speaking to him. That speaking goes more and more when that spirit becomes a part of him. Again, I'm not revealing much of the book. Also, it includes another story. It's actually a combination of two stories. One is this one which I told you about. And the second one is titled Razia. It's a name. It's a character I created in my own childhood. It's perhaps an avatar or something like it. So it's a totally different new world, a completely different world. And from there, if they come to Earth, how will it be? How will they react? How will we welcome them? Such a book is thrilling plus horror also. Now back to my most favorite of all my books. Actually, it's a book and its sequel, Fire and Fire Again. Fire, like I was just to give an outline of it. 97 to 98. I was around 13 or 14 at the time. I was playing cricket with my friends at a small graveyard in Coimbatore. It was not many people were using. If I remember, this exact scene has been described in the book. From how much I remember, he had shot a sixer. So one of my friends had shot a sixer. One of the fielders went to get it, and next thing, boom! There was an explosion. That fielder, he also was one of my classmates, and trust me, he was a Muslim. He passed away the explosion.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
This scar lasted me in my whole life. I saw. I'm at the age of 13 or 14. I saw a person dying in front of me. Okay, and until then I spent my life in Abu Dhabi. So it was just for my mom's certain uterus operation, I had come over here. And it was at that time I spent my time in India and school here in Coimbatore. This was the incident which happened. So you could imagine how it had happened. But the outcome of it was completely communal, blaming a particular community for all the bomblessness. I don't wish to get political communal, but that gave me that thought entered my mind and has been there since that incident. The person who died also was a Muslim. The an allegedly the person who planted the bomb was a source Muslim. So ये सब क्यों? Why all this? Why all this? If you permit me that uh, song from Mission Kashmir, Hindi movie Mission Kashmir. Dua, 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 dua. Pardon me, I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but that feeling, what is he says, ये सब क्यों? Why all this? Why all this? That concept I have been carrying in my mind since then of fire. That was the beginning of fire. So I developed a story on fire of how, and also one thing not many people know of me is when I was in college, I will not go much into the incident, how it happened, why it happened, but when I was in college, I had a big accident and I had a brain injury. So kind of I was thrown away by good fortune and I landed, it threw me many feet in the air and I landed on my skull. I shattered my skull and half my brain came out. So I am a real life Gajani actually. And I suffer from partial amnesia. First of all, I was in a coma for 2 months, then 2 to 3 months, something like that. Then I suffered partial amnesia, where I forgot everything I ever knew in life. Okay, I even forgot A to Z of English. So in American English, A to Z. So even all these incidents I'm telling you is because of what has been told to me. Certain things I may remember now, but not the entire picture. That also I kind of included in the fire. That memory loss and a kind of a past which no one knows about. Not many past, not many people who read my books or who know me online know of my past. I'm not saying I'm having a very filmy past or I'm not some Ritik or something like that. I'm a normal person only. But I had a very colorful past. At one point in my life, when I was in 12th standard, I had lunch with the king of United Arab Emirates because my classmate was his grandson. And in another point of my life, when I was writing that book which I told you about, Just Between You and Me, that story, first part of Three Stories of Love, I ate from a garbage bin because I was too hungry. So you see the extremes of my life. All these things, plus my memory loss, and because people completely forgot about me. Even when I was in this action happened when I was in my second year of college. I was even offered a big movie role. I will not name that movie because it could be a controversy, but it is something both people over in North and South India will know. It was a big movie, and I was offered a kind of a small role in it. It was such a big time for me. Everything ended with that accident. I lost memory. I couldn't study for long. My dad was without a job. My mom was without a job. And doctors told, I think even that doctor is following me right now on LinkedIn and Facebook. Him and many other doctors told, I will not survive. First they told I will not get out of coma. Then they told I will not be, and I will be mentally unstable. Then they told I will be physically unstable. Right now, here I am. It has been 18 years, but I have achieved a lot in these 18 years. Thanks God, thanks to everyone who prayed for me. I say God because I am such a person. Even though I'm a Muslim by birth, I believe you call God, Ram, Allah, Jesus, Buddha, any name you give, God is God. Jaise ki Ma, Mummy, Amma, Umma, anything is still your mother. So I don't wish to kind of bring religious sentiments into this. God, thanks to God and many people who helped me. Not my friends again, excuse me, but many people who helped me. Not my friends, okay. I have had some of my friends, Yusuf Ali, if you know of him, the Lulu Mall in South India, the MK group. I had chance of meeting him in Abu Dhabi, and his elder daughter was a close friend of mine, and younger daughter was my sister's classmate. That was my level at one point of time. And I have even had a chance to meet several celebrities in India. But leaving all that, I was totally cashless, jobless, homeless, nothing after taxes. So my books show, even Fire shows the journey of how I fight back, how I got back. There will be drama elements added from fiction, of course. But Fire is that spirit in me. Like, for example, fire, if you light a fire, It can give you warmth, it can give you light, but it can burn you down. That's what I'm saying. Fire, if you use it in the right way, it will help you. But if you taunt it, nothing can stop it. Perhaps not even water, because there is a limit to how much water can do. That's why you have fire extinguisher. So there is a fire in me. And I believe with the sequel, Fire Again, that fire in me has been changed. I have kind of put a stop to all my past. I have got that peace, shanti, that attainment of final peace I have gotten. Now it's just me and my simple life, where I care for my parents, my grandmother, my wife, my sister, and my beloved kid, Ayan, this 4-year-old boy, and I love him a lot. That's about it. How I write my stories.
I think you've had a amazing life, and Yasser, it's really an honor. This is going to be an amazing conversation. I know that it's already been an amazing conversation, but I know it's going to get even more interesting as we go ahead. So Yasser, moving ahead, I wanted to ask you. You use a lot of real life experiences in your stories. So does that make your job as a writer easier, or is it more difficult to inculcate real life incidents in your fiction and non-fiction stories?
Actually, I would say difficult, because my way of writing, even say I admit I'm a guy, I'm a man of 37 years, yet I cry when I see films like Kal Ho Na Ho or whatever. I laugh when you see films like Hangama or I don't know, what's that, any Rohit Shetty film in there. I get angry, or that feeling comes to me when I see Agnipath or the latest film of Hrithik, War, or movies like that. What I'm trying to say, that emotion, I am a very emotional person. So when I write my books also, I get into the character. I completely live that character. As perhaps if any of you would visit my Facebook timeline or my Facebook page, you will see different photographs of me at different stages. I look different in every one of them. These are not costumes. These are me at different stages of life, or when I'm writing different books, because I live the character. So if in the book my character feels pain, I too feel that pain. If my character feels joy, I feel the joy. So getting to the character can sometimes, how to say, jump up on your nerve. I have seriously cried a lot when I was writing Fire. Tears are just pouring down my eyes, because if you read it, please do read it. It's based on certain real life incidents, and a boy who, in that incident, he lost his parents. The lead character lost his parents. So that feeling, you will never forget. Okay, that's why I told of that. Again, another song which I try to bring to my book, and that Fire, first part, Fire. What is that? हो जा चंदा राजा सो जा, चल सपनों में चल, एक के बाद एक नींद की परियां पैरों में पायल. Pardon me for the lyrics after it, but that feeling, that mother seeing her son to sleep, that is really brought in Fire. Wow. I cried in that book, though it isn't. It didn't happen in my life. Pardon me. My parents are still with me. It didn't happen, but I get so much in the book. So this sometimes takes a toll on my health. And this is why I like to take a break after writing every book. I would say it's more difficult that way. But this is what I want. I want my objective when you read a book or anything I write, a poem or anything, people should feel it. I want people to feel what's going on in the book. It shouldn't be just like flip the pages. Feel it. You must feel as if you're watching a film or watching a video. That's it.
I just wanted to ask you a question, and this is going to be a handy resource for aspiring authors. You know, you said that you are a very emotional person, and your stories highlight or showcase your own emotions, your own experiences. So, you know, and they say that it's very difficult to describe emotions when you're writing a story or a book. So what is your methodology? How do you describe these emotions through words? If you could explain that.
My sense. Yeah, my simple methodology and my advice to all writers is do not, again, not even me, do not listen to what people tell you to do or what people instruct you to do. If advice, suggestions like how I'm providing now, that's fine. But if people tell you, write this way, put it this way, a sentence should be this way, this is grammatically wrong, this spelling is wrong, etc., blah, 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 just ask them to get lost. You write what's in your heart. A poem or a book, a novel, I'm talking about fiction. Non-fiction is a different kind. Talk about fiction is the expression of your thoughts, your feelings, your heart, your mind, your soul. So why do you bother about it? Just write what comes to your mind. Do not think of how people will receive it, how people will understand. Just write it down, and the editing part can come in last. You write down whatever you want. It need not even be kind of a chronological order. You write down whatever comes. Later, read it again. Then you decide this scene can come before, this scene can come after, all such stuff. Now, even Fire and even Fire again, in many of my books, I start with a poem. That sets a tone. If it's a romance book, the poem beyond romance. If it's Fire, that kind of poetry will be there. So if I don't know what to write, I just write a poem. Similarly, I'm just advising others also, write the first thoughts which come to mind. It can be just a scene, it can be a paragraph, it can be anything. Then you will understand. It's like a flow. Write this paragraph, whatever comes to mind, then you will know what to write next. And it goes on. Read it after you complete it, read it again, make changes, modifications, whatever you record. Perhaps ask the assistance or service of friends or people who know well to correct whatever grammar, whatever the things that are necessary. And trust me, you need not invest heavily on this. I'm advising no one to invest heavily on publishing books and all. Just write your heart. Can be even a friend. It can be any person you know. Now, for example, I'm speaking to Jasveer. Jasveer may be able to help you. I may be able to help you. Jasveer, you may know other people who can help. Find it, write it, and that's it. Close your book and sleep well. All your thoughts have been put out. You have done the best you can. The remaining, pardon my filmy style, Ram Jane or God knows.
Right. So, you are a big fan of the movies, right?
Right.
That makes the two of us.
I used to watch a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Now I don't get much time. right. And like I was telling you, it was Shah Rukh first, then it became Salman, then it became Amir, then Hrithik. So it goes on.
Okay. So Yasser, this question, is kind of irrelevant now that we know that you are really passionate about writing. But if, you have to describe what writing means to you, what would you tell the listeners?
Because I always believe, there is a limit to how much you can speak. No matter how many of our words you use, no matter how much of I'm a very vocal person. But I'm a kind of a contrasting person. I'm a very vocal person. I speak a lot. Yet I'm a shy person. Believe me, my journey with romance started because I was shy of girls. So this is what I had a lot to say. I had a lot to say in my heart, but I couldn't say it out. So I wrote poetry. So I started writing stories. So that through those stories, through this poetry, I get my thoughts across. Similarly, it's this is what writing is to me. It's an expression of thought. What cannot come on your lips comes through your fingers.
Yeah,
that's what writing is to me.
Wonderful quote. What cannot come to your lips comes through your fingers. That's an amazing quote. I'm going to remember that. Right. So, what is the most difficult part of your writing process?
I'm humbled. Thank you. Difficult part. I'm an old-fashioned fellow. I need complete silence, and I get hot very easily. Means that the temperature, especially this summer, is extremely hot. So I need a cool atmosphere and total silence to write. That is kind of nearly impossible right now because I'm having other careers, other things to do in life as well. I can't spend a lot of time going some remote place and writing and all that. So, even Fire and Fire Again, both those books, I had written after midnight, after all my family members slept, and I had returned from work, had food, put them to sleep, then I wrote. So you may imagine that I have hardly slept when writing those books. Perhaps 1 or 2 hours per day. That was my sleeping time. That again, like I told you, affected my health a lot. So this is the biggest difficulty for me in the writing process. The getting that correct time, the correct mood. That's what's difficult for me.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of thoughts, but bringing it to my pen or the laptop is difficult. Right.
So, if I have to ask you about your writing space, is there something that you require in your writing space that motivates you? Anything specific?
Music. I always listen to music when writing. Depends on, like, for example, when I was writing Fire, I listened to certain songs of, I guess, like I sang some songs from Mission Kashmir and certain other movies, like some thrilling music, something like. If I write romance, it should be some romantic music. That sets the mood for me. I'm in my own world when writing. The music, it can be from like how I'm speaking to my phone or from the computer, from the laptop. I just need music. I'm kind of my preferred music, what I like to hear.
Right. So music gets you going. Wonderful. So, you are a published author, you've had 6 books published.
Yeah.
So tell our listeners, what is your favorite part of publishing and what is the least favorite part of your publishing process?
That is a very difficult question. The favorite part of publishing, of course, that many people get to know of, get to read or get to know of what I think, what goes on in my head, or my views. People people can share my views. That's my favorite part. And the worst part, again, getting it published. It's so difficult. I'm a simple, ordinary person. I don't, though I studied commerce in school and college, I don't speak much in monetary terms. Business or capitalism do not make sense to me. For me, it's always give and take. So the complete budget, you publish with us, we will do this for you, this for you, this for you. None of that makes sense to me. I even gone for traditional publishing and I gave my book. And 1 year later, they told me, no, we'll try some other time. So all this wait and all this stuff make no sense to me. This is the difficult part of publishing for me. And this is why I chose to be a self-publisher, except for the last 2, which I'm very thankful to Books Publishing in Chhattisgarh, who published it for me. I'm very thankful to them. And it's because of them that I'm speaking to you right now. I'm speaking to all of you who are listening to the show right now.
Right, great. So what comes to you first, the plot or the character?
The character, definitely the character. Because I write a book or I write a poem, I write anything based on that character. Okay, so it's like I told you, that the Fire, I told you of the concept. Okay, but when starting was not concept, it kind of started an incident. But the incident, who suffered it, who watched it, who had to go through everything because of incident, that character. That character is Fire, and that's what I try to bring in my book. So I developed the entire story on that character, then supporting actors. Like, for example, it's an Amir Khan movie, it's a Salman Khan movie, it's a Mohanlal, Rajinikanth, Chiranjeevi, anyone movie. Remaining are side actors, supporting actors, etc., etc. That's how I write.
Right. I know movies are your favorite, you love movies, right? So let me ask you this hypothetical situation. If one of your books is converted into a movie, how would you cast and which actors would you cast?
Now for Fire and Fire Again, I would say it's Hrithik first person. Because I was thinking in mind a kind of little bit sad person. So maybe Amir Khan, then Salman or John Abraham. These would be the main cast for Fire and Fire Again. Hrithik, I would say definitely top. For my romance, I have been a very big Shah Rukh Khan fan. So it's always Shah Rukh Khan in romance. The king of romance, Shah Rukh Khan. And it depends on other stories. Now for that horror, I would say I would cast myself fully. If I had a chance, I would cast myself.
Remember, this is your story, and this is your casting. You can cast anybody. So that's the
Right.
beauty. That's the beauty of our podcast. Okay.
Right.
All right, Yasir, tell
That's a
our
bit right.
listeners something about your future projects.
Right. That's so nice. Okay. I have a project in mind, though I do not know when I'll start and all. Like I told you, I'm kind of living in peace now. I have my past, I put my past behind me, but I have a kind of a small concept in mind of, like I told you, I had faced some big accidents and everyone, doctors, the preachers of my preachers of most also temples, churches, everyone, my own relatives, every single person except my grandmother, my mother, my sister. I would just keep them out of this list. Every other person in the world told me I will not survive. I cannot do. These are the words they use. Even that I wish I could name the doctor, but I don't wish to put a control. I cannot. These are the words they told me, and I told them I will. So that my entire how to say, my mentality and everything is based on this. I will and I can, and I have done. Thanks to God, thanks to all the prayers, I have done. I'm having an idea to write a book on this, how you can control your own destiny. I control my own destiny. People told me I can't. My just a little bit refresh of what I have gone through in my life. I told you I have had a big brain injury. I have had a heart attack at the age of 24. And just 2 months after marriage, when I was, I guess, 31 or something, I fell from a building at the height of 40 feet. I broke my shoulder. My shoulder came up, but got dislocated, and I broke my hip bone. Still I'm alive. Still I walk to office, walk back home. Everyone said it's impossible, but I chose my own destiny. This concept I'm having sometime I'll work on in the future.
Right. So
That's it.
you've talked a lot about how to use real life experiences in your stories, and you've shared some handy tips for the young and aspiring authors. But if you had that one message for anybody who's looking to venture into writing
Mm.
and becoming an author, what would be that one message?
I will put this with a quote which I wrote, a kind of small quote, a small stanza which I wrote for myself. And I would advise everyone to listen this and just recite this every time. Here it goes. Like me or dislike me, be my friend or enemy. I am what I am because I am the only person I know how to be. This is what I tell everyone. Just be yourself. Just believe in yourself. You have something in you. You have some talent. It can be writing, it can be singing, it can be dancing, it can be acting, it can be medicine, it can be engineering, it can be anything. But everyone has something special in it. Believe in yourself. Remember, believe in yourself. You are what you are, and you are the best way how you are. Do not try to be someone else. You may learn from them, but do not try to be them. Be yourself. That's the meaning point.
I think that's so meaningful. As
That's
long
it.
as you can be yourself, you will produce great work. Don't copy. Be
Right.
inspired, but then be yourself. Right,
Right.
Yasir, thank you
Right.
so much.
Right.
I would like to end our conversation with
Yeah.
this quote.
Right. Right.
Courage is
Right.
the most
Thank you so much.
important of all the virtues, because without courage, you cannot
Right.
practice any other
Right. Right.
virtue consistently.
Yeah.
And I think, Yasir, you are the epitome of courage over here. You've seen so much
Yeah.
trauma in your
Right.
life, yet you've come out really strong.
I'm
And
humbled. I'm
yeah,
humbled.
you've come out
Thank you.
as an amazing author. I'm sure
Right.
people
Thank you
will
so
be
much.
motivated listening to our conversation. And the tips that you've shared for the young and aspiring authors will be
Hmm.
definitely
Thank you so
useful
much.
for a lot of people. Yasir, thank you so much for this amazing conversation.
Thank you so much. It's an honor of mine, and thank you so much for listening to my work.
Right, guys, thank you so much for taking time out to listen to us. I will be back with another episode very soon. Till that time, take care and stay safe. Thank you.